Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Crafting in a Small Space. I am Miranda and this is my small space van, and we are at Rockaway today in Oregon, and we are going to escape the heat that is going to be this week. It's going to be on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's going to be 80, 85 and 80 here, but there it's going to be like almost 100. So we packed up and came here, and we'll be here for all the way until Tuesday that I know of. Look at my hair, look how crazy. I've cut it a little bit again a couple weeks ago, and my hair has grown out like the amount that you can see in the dye. And my purple has turned to this orange color, and now my hair kind of goes like that because it's so long. I need to cut my hair again, and my little thingies are like super long. And this is the mohawk sides right here, not that piece. These are the mohawk sides, and I have my hair up and twisted, and my mohawk tail is like this long. It's longer than that down my back, and I'm going to grow everything from here back long, and it's going to be kind of pointed down the side, down the center. But I'm going to be using this shortness. I've been contemplating lately whether or not I should take the part here and cut it the way that it was, where it was short and pointy, and then cut, you know, this stuff shorter, like way shorter, like almost off, because these pieces grow super fast, and I don't like hair hanging over my ear like this. And the last time I trimmed it, I don't know how I did it wrong, but look how long that is. Last time I trimmed it and it was like this weird blunt edge because I grabbed a piece from back here and did not realize it. So I have to go get my hair cut instead of doing it myself, because there's all these pieces here that have to be layered, and I can cut other people's hair, but I can't cut mine that easy. And all the light is coming from up underneath me, so it's like, you know, when you hold a flashlight and you're like, woo, scary sounds. Okay, so months and months ago, I was starting to make this into one of those stupid cardigans, and I didn't like it because I don't like the giant sleeves. So I have been ripping it out as I knit, and I've been making these squares. And I think I made this video and showed them last time when we were out camping. So I haven't made that many because I was only doing it, and I'm ripping out this piece as I go. I haven't made that many. I've only made 3, and I'm on a 4th. So I have 2 greens, and they're so gorgeous in this yarn. This is the macchiato cakes, and it's the purple and the green. And I'm currently working on this square right here. I haven't worked on it since we got here like an hour or so ago. We like ate and I just sat, but there's like this super hot pink in this purple this time, and it hit the super hot pink level. And so my idea was to just exhaust the yarn that is in these 2 pieces and any of this that I have left over in little balls or whatever from when I made that Halloween blanket. So, and there's a lot of little balls that hang off this because I was experimenting, so damn. But I mean, it's so pretty when you stripe it. I feel like this could also, you know, be one of those spiral square blankets that I crochet all the time. But I was like having a very big knitting need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exhaust these 2 into the squares. And when I am done with the squares, they'll probably end up in a bag, and it'll be like a minute. But I'm going to join them together there's a way that you join the mitered squares to where they look like different things, or different, you know, what do you call it? Sorry, I'm trying to do this before he comes back from fishing. they look like different illusions. Like if I put all 4 corners pointing to the center and sewed 4 of them together, or if I made all of them go in a direction this way, whatever, they look good. But I'm gonna join them with black so that it looks like a stained glass window. And I don't know what I'm gonna join them as. Like, is it gonna be a stitch, or is it gonna be just a single crochet and just have it be a line? I have no idea yet. Or yeah, I'm gonna crochet them together most likely. And I don't care if there's like a lip, you know how if you crochet them together rather than sewing with the needle back and forth inside the center portion of the stitches. So they are going to probably go like this and form together, or else I could do just, you know, like a kind of flying geese kind of thing where they're all pointing off to the side. This is really difficult. See, I can't keep one straight and the other not straight. There we go. I might make it like this, or like this. Oh, let go. That. Anyway, so I have 3 and a 4th going, and we haven't been camping for a minute, so I haven't worked on them at all because I was saving this for like my project. But the other day we were at home and he needed something from the craft store. Of all things, we were trying to bleed the brakes on the scooters because he had to put new handlebars on our electric scooters because they literally snapped while he was riding. Like the bar just went and he fell and almost crashed into a tree stump, like a log, and almost hurt himself super badly. So he had to put motorcycle handlebars on our scooters, and when he took the handlebars off, it messed up the brake. The brakes are hydraulic, so he had to get like some sort of syringe type of thing to inject the brake fluid back in with a little bit of pressure, and then we had to bleed the brakes back and forth by pushing the plunger on either side down below where the tire was and up where you pull the actual brake. And it was a learning process, but it was weird going to the craft store and asking them where their syringes were, because they have craft syringes for glues and things like that. And you have removable tips and all this kind of stuff for them. And it was just so weird because like the 2 of us going in there and asking for that, it felt like we were those people that are like, how can we buy drug paraphernalia cheaply in a weird place? And it was just like, it was a weird thing to ask for. They looked at us like we were nuts. But we did get it. We did make it work. You know, he had to modify them and cut the end off of a piece, and it worked really good. But when we were going in there, I was at my storage unit the day before and found one of these. And it's the grays. I don't remember what I did with the other gray. I think I started something like one of those shawls and just either didn't rip it out, or I don't know where it is, but I saw this full skein. I was like, I want to, every time I see this color, and I have tons of colors, you've seen the green and the thing, and I've used them all for, not that hat, I've used macchiato cakes for these 2 hats and a bunch of other hats, and the solid red one I made him. And the macchiato cakes are really easy to work with. They look really plush and they're really soft and they're really nice. And I had this and I was like, I just took it out of my storage unit because I was like, God, every time I see this, it inspires me to want to make something. So when we were at the craft store, I got this, and I haven't used this color yet. This is one of the ones I haven't used yet. But look at the, wait, where's that sunlight? It's like electric, and it's called Glowing Grapefruit. There's pink, there's yellow, orange. There's different kinds of pink. There's kind of like a violety pink. It's a really beautiful color. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to make something with this. And I like that it's super day glow against each other. That's just so, to me it's pretty. It might look shitty once I get done. But what I'm going to do is not snag my earring again. Ow. What I'm going to do is I am going to make one of those tops where you crochet squares, but the squares are going to be 12-inch squares, and I'm going to do 4 of them because I'm big. I think she does 4 of them on hers. And I put my arms down like this and had him measure from the widest part of me out, and it's 21 inches, and so I'm gonna go to 22 or it was 22 inches. So I was going to go to 24 inches so that each square would be 12, but joining them would make it just a little bit. So it'd be like a kind of 25-inch wide, and you put 2 squares, then 2 squares as the front, and then you do the same for the back. And for the arm, you do a square on this side and a square on that side, and then a square down here and a square over there. So there'll be 4 squares for the arms, 4 squares for the back and the front. So altogether, 3 times 4 is 12. So yeah, I have to make that many squares. And I might not, I don't know if I'm supposed to make the arm squares the same inches as the chest ones. I'm not sure. But there is a girl on there that has made a very beautiful thing, and I do not like the squares that she used because they have holes like this big in the flower portion in the center. So I might do the shells pattern that I did with the Karen Blossom cakes. You know, how I did those like multiple squares that never got sewed together. I might make that pattern and put it on here, but it could also be a cool summer thing with more holes in it. But that has too many holes. That's like literally looking through this thing. You can see from where you're at. It's like, there's a lot of holes in it. And I don't like work with the big decorative holes. So I think I'm going to do one that I found that looks like a sunflower in the center or something like that. There's 2 that I'm kind of milling around in my head, but my brain wants to make shells every time I do that shell blanket, and I've done so many of them, and so many of that shell blanket that starts from the center. So I might do those squares, but hopefully I can find one on Pinterest that is a completely different square that isn't granny square or granny stitch or whatever, but there's one that has a sunflower kind of wagon wheel thing in the center, and I think that one's nice. I wanted it to be a little bit more decorative than just a bunch of circles turned into a square. And then I did find one that's a sun, and it does have the spikes of the sun, but the inside is a spiral, and then the color after the spikes is its alternate color. So I could do the sunburst and then the background, and then switch it and do this is the sun part and this is the background, and just kind of alternate them. I don't know yet, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do one color per square, not multiple, but plans change after you get going. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I did bring my, you know those chairs that people have? See it? I have one of those things that you run and catch the air, and then you roll it up and it turns into kind of like a hot dog bun looking lounge thingy. But at home it's not very windy, but here at the beach it's uber windy. It's gonna be like hot, so I'm gonna be in my shade thing on the beach hopefully and playing. But I'm also in the middle of a video game, Dragon Quest Builders 2. I cannot wait for the new Hellraiser video game to come out, but it's only going to be on Xbox, which it's not only on Xbox, but for me, I only do Xbox, Nintendo Switch, or like, you know, the thing that hooks to your phone where you can play Xbox games on your phone, the backbone. But the premise of it I'm not excited about, because if anybody on here knows anything about the Hellraiser universe or any of the Hellraiser movies, anytime something happens to your loved one and the hooks go in them and you start trying to bargain to get your loved one back, your loved one was dead a long time ago, and the premise for this thing right after the latest movie showed, if the hooks get in you, you're gone. The premise of this thing is this guy's girlfriend gets taken, and literally in the intro of the game, there's a hook here and a hook here, and it like tears her face apart or something like that. And the whole entire game is about him trying to do all this stuff to go get her back. And I'm like, how do the people that made this video game not know about the Hellraiser universe? You don't get anybody back, and your bargains turned into betrayals, and it's usually fruitless. But it is the Hellraiser universe, and that is my favorite movie series of horror movies. So I will have to play it and be scared and happy and stuff all at the same time. I will just pretend like it does not really exist with the regular Hellraiser universe, because it's going to be disappointed watching all these cutscenes of a dude trying to save a girl that's already dead. And if at the end he's able to save her, it is not following anything Hellraiser whatsoever. So, I don't know. It'll be fun because it'll be scary, and scary games are funny. So, but yeah, Lita's at home. She doesn't like going with us on these little excursions. And I've been wanting to play my video games, and I've been watching a lot of those Chinese dramas on YouTube. Super fun. The dubbing is absolutely terrible. Right now, the one that I'm watching that has an amazing storyline, the main character girl, her voice, they're all Chinese people. In real life, they're Chinese. It's Chinese language, but it's dubbed in somewhat AI'd language. Very misinterpreted. The main character has a Chinese accent. That's fine. Chinese AI accent. But they made the father have a Hindu accent, and the bad girl daughter have a deeper Hindu accent, like super. The two white people parents that are supposed to be the American parents have Jamaican accents, and the underling of the main good girl, he's from Africa. Like, all these voices are completely different ethnicities, thick accents of them, and the interpretation of every sentence is weird. When they're trying to say "you betrayed me" or something like that, it's like, you've gone under the failing light of the deepest meadow, and it's like, and then next thing you know, they're like, "you should pay for what you did to me," in perfect interpretation. This is one of the pretty bad ones. This is a pretty bad one. But I just really wish people from China would see these and take the YouTube video and literally get together with a bunch of their friends and hear the regular Chinese version and create the sound for us in the correct interpretation of what they're saying. Because a lot of the time it's a lot of like very weird interpreted words, like the failing mountain went over the blah blah blah, and he's literally trying to say, "You just robbed me, I would like my stuff back." And it's like, but the storylines on some of them are so good. And there's even one that's like one of my favorites, where this girl knows, she's literally sitting there on her phone reading a Chinese mini romance drama, and something happens to her and she gets sucked into the book. So she knows what's going to happen ahead of time because she's in the story she's reading. And so everybody around her can hear her inner thoughts of saying, "Oh, well, I feel really bad for this guy. He thinks he has a problem. He doesn't realize his sister's about to be sold on the black market. And this brother over here is apparently going to get swindled by a woman who used to be a man. And now he's going to get his kidneys stolen. And then the mom's going to be so poor she's going to have to table dance and all this." And they can hear her thinking of what's gonna happen in the story because the bad things are about to happen, and they hear her and they're all get together and like, "Can you hear what she's thinking?" And they're like, "Yeah, I thought it was just me." And they're like, "No." And everything she's like seeing and saying when she's there, and everybody's just reacting to all this stuff around her, and she doesn't know they can hear her. And she's like, "Oh no, this is the part where the girl pretends like she's gonna hand me something, and she knocks it out of my hand and pretends like I burnt her with this hot tea." And it happens. And the main bad girl will be like, "Here's some tea," and then drops it on her own hand and, "You burned me, I was just trying to give you some tea." And then the girl's like, "Yeah, predictable." And everybody that heard her voice is like, "Wow, she called that. Maybe she's not as good as we thought she was. Maybe the good girl is really the bad girl." And then they find out that the bad girl this whole time really was the bad girl. And so, like, there's so many good stories, but some of the dubbing really kind of messes that up. So, I mean, there's a voice that sounds like Keith David. And if you know anything about Keith David, his accent is 100%. His voice, not accent, his voice is 1,000,000% recognizable. There's one that sounds like Danny Glover. There's one that sounds like Idris Elba. There's one that sounds like Pat Morita. But the way he talks without an accent. And it's like they've AI'd people's voices that are famous and threw them onto these things. And like every time I hear the Idris Elba one where he's like talking and I'm like, this guy's supposed to be Chinese, and all I can see is Idris Elba talking to me. But you know, and then there's these ones where they'll use like a phone sex operator voice on the bad girls, like, oh, I was only trying to hand you some tea, I don't know, oh. But it's really not what the woman's voice sounds like, because sometimes they'll slip and they won't put the right sound over and you can hear their real voices talking. And I'm just like, why did they make the villains, the female villains in several of these, have the puff voices? So, but I'm rambling, I'm so sorry. Anyway, so yeah, I may or may not start this, or I may or may not play my video game. I drink some of this, and it's very delicious. I have not had this flavor before. Usually I drink this flavor. But the raspberry lemon and strawberry watermelon, these are my two faves. But I drank this and now I want to do everything all at once. Video game, knit, crochet, and watch my, well, I can already just watch my dramas while I do these things. I don't need any tutorials, but whew. Yeah, so this is day one. What day is it? Wednesday, and we will be here until Tuesday. So yeah, right now we're backed up to the fishing area. The jetty is far over there, but there's the other side of Barview Jetty, and he's somewhere over there on the rocks past where I can see. Oh, there he is. He's like right there fishing. He's like seeing me. He just turned around, I think. Here comes the train that you can ride. Okay, I've talked long enough. Back to the dramas. Back to the drama. I've really got to cut my hair. Like, look at how much growth there has been on the dye, and now my gray hair is like peekaboo. And I have my purple shampoo too. I have this shampoo that when you actually wash your hair with it, you lather your hair half lather. You don't like, you just kind of put it in and get it everywhere, and then you just do everything else in the shower besides touch your hair again, and it dyes your hair purple, and then the next time you use it, it dyes it a little bit more purple. But I keep forgetting to use it, and with the shower we take at home has to be like a submarine shower, super fast, so that your water doesn't run out. So I don't really get to do it, but I need my hair to be purple again rather than this crazy in between everything. And there's like pink parts like right here, and there's orange, and like, what's my thingy look like? Oof, it's not frizzy, it's just because I ran my finger through the wrong part. Looks like a rat tail mini dreadlock, but it's not. I have like super soft hair, I promise. It just looks like this because I put it up after it was wet, and now it looks like a rat tail. Ugh, so funny. I can't wait for the time where all of my hair from here back is like this, and I won't have the thinnest ponytail. Like, this is how thin my hair is. There's my ponytail. But when my hair is everywhere and it's in a ponytail, it's maybe this thick. It's maybe that thick, like barely thick at all. All right, everybody, thank you for listening and watching. If you're at this point, hi, let's be friends. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what you're frogging right now. Everybody's talking about frogging lately. They're like, I can't do this project, I hate it, I'm taking it out. And I'm like, I feel ya. I'm still worried about the fact that there is moths in my storage unit, and I've tried to do all the remedies and everything to get them to not be in there, and so far I haven't pulled open any yarn or anything like that and it's in there. They mostly are in my like bags and clothes that don't have anything in them. But my yarn is on shelves and not bagged up or Tupperwared up, but I haven't found anything in there. And I saw them fluttering from somebody else's space, so yippee.